Patricia Show about me. Okay, so my name is Patricia. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am clairvoyant, clairaudient, and I can see in the past, present, and future. Clairaudio audio is when you hear beyond the normal hearing. I call it you hear with your spiritual ears, things that physical ears can't hear. And it's the same thing with your clairvoyant. You see things beyond the vision of your physical eyes. So you can see things that the physical eyes can't see. Okay, so I'm just going to briefly go into this so you can know a little bit about me. If it's something specific you want to know, just put it in the comments and I'll be happy to answer. Okay, so I decided to start this station because I have a lot of spiritual knowledge to share. People are really struggling financially, and I want to help you. I really consider myself an expert when it comes to making money. Um, Opening up that part of you to connect with your higher presence, which is God, and to allow all of those blessings to come in. Some of the things that as we go along and I begin to teach you extremely high spiritual knowledge, some of the things I'm going to teach you, you're not going to see it anywhere else. But you will always get results. If you stick with me at this station, you will become rich. However rich you want to become. If you want to become a millionaire, we'll get you there. If you want to just be comfortably, we'll get you there. If you just follow the directions that I'm going to give you on this station. Now, let me tell you a little bit about myself. Okay, so ever since I was young, I would always like communicate with God. I've been reading the Bible like when I was 7 or 8 years old. And so one time when I was 24, I had a house in Detroit and I was losing my house. And as I was sitting on the bed thinking how much, because I was 3 months behind. So I'm thinking, how can I get the money to pay this? At that time, I really thought that you couldn't be rich and follow God as well. I thought that in order to, if you wanted to follow God, then you couldn't be rich. You had to choose one or the other. And this was based upon the way things were in the Bible. Like, looked like nobody in the Bible was really rich. Now, some of the kings and things like that were, but like the average people, like they just weren't rich. So I had that belief that in order to be close to God, you had to be poor. So one time I was sitting on the bed and I heard this voice say to me, Patricia, you don't have to be poor. And I said, what do you mean? And then I just sat there in the silence, focused within myself, which is where God is. And I said, God, teach me about wealth. That is how, that is the beginning of God teaching me when I was 24 about wealth. And God has continued to teach me throughout my life, even recently telling me giving me more information about how to become wealthy. So that was my journey on to begin the knowledge or getting knowledge on wealth. God has taught me through uh, lead and guide me to different books, but secret documents and teachings that maybe the normal person doesn't really understand because God would give me that inner understanding to understand it. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so now each week I will drop you a spiritual video. The videos will be on spiritual growth, getting money, becoming wealthy, different topics on spiritual teaching. But they're not going to be like in order. You know what I mean? Like I might have something on wealth this week and then something on how to evolve spiritually next week. So there'll be different things, okay? Um Please write in the comments any topics that you want to talk about, that you want me to talk about. So write that in the topics. I'll be happy to hear from you. Now, if for some reason I don't answer you when you write it in the comments, if I don't ever, talk about it, or you don't hear me say anything about it, then please shoot me an email, because that means I didn't see it. Because this is my first time doing this, so I don't really know how many comments I'm gonna have in the comments and how long it's gonna take me to read all of it. So if I don't read it, if I don't see anything about something you wanted me to talk about, then please email me, and the email will be at the end of this slide. Okay, let's go to the next. Okay, so I'm not that familiar with YouTube, and so I don't know like how long the videos can be. I see some people have half an hour video, 20 minutes video, so I don't know. I guess I'll learn all that as I go along. But the guy who's helping me set this up had told me my videos need to be 5 to 10 minutes long, so that's why I'm kind of rushing through this video. But I just want to, this is my email here, info@globalelite.media. So just, if, like I said, if I don't see it, if you write in the comments something you want me to talk about and I don't see it, then just drop me an email. Okay, so I want to tell you, like, you know how you read a book? Somebody might, you tell somebody about that book and then they'll read it. Okay, so on my spiritual path, I never did that. If you tell me about a book, I won't read it. I always get it from within. God, let God lead and guide me what to read, because just because you got something out of the book you read, that doesn't mean I'm going to get something out of it, because we all are on different, I call them different spiritual, I call spiritual growth a ladder, and we all are climbing that ladder at different pace. So what you might read and really help you, it might not really help me. So I always, again, let God lead and guide me. I used to go to the bookstore all the time. I love to read all the time. So one time I went to the bookstore and this book fell off the shelf. This is the God's truth. The book fell off the shelf. When I reached down to pick up the book, my entire body was shaking, but I knew it meant for me to read that book. And that book that I was shaking was called Sith, Seth Speaks. And so I knew that, God was telling me this is something you should read. Now, that had only happened once when I went to bookstore where it fell off the shelf, and I never did even see where it fell. Um, Usually after that, what would happen is that I would sit there and browse through the books, and I would just get a strong feeling that, what book specific to read. And every time I would do that and I would end up buying the book, whatever it was that I was wondering about or thinking about spiritually, the answer was in the book. And then another thing, I know one time I wanted to know, because my family didn't believe in reincarnation, and I wanted to know, oh, is it really a such thing as reincarnation? And if it is, how does it work? So I remember God sending this guy to me. It was my friend's brother. And me and him literally sat on my porch for 12 hours because he knew a lot about it and we were talking about it. And when I got through talking to him, I went back, said my prayers, and said, God, I need more confirmation. And then after that, God sent me to a book. Same thing. I felt really strong that I should get this book, and there was information in there. And I think I went back one more time and said, God, just please give me one more confirmation. And he gave me that confirmation as well in another book, totally. And then I was walking through my house one day, wasn't even thinking about that, and I could hear this voice so strong tell me, yes, that there was reincarnation was real. And I was young then, so I was in my early 20s, but that was the beginning of my changed belief about reincarnation. And so everything that I have learned spiritually, I have been able to connect with the God within me and let God teach me. So I have some really fascinating stories that I'll tell you throughout the show. Um, to, tell you more about me and let you understand about me more. Okay? All right, then. Thank you so much. Have a good day.